You've spent years believing one idea. I can't improve my English without a teacher. Or I need apps, courses, tutors, something. Otherwise, my English won't get better. But what if the world has lied to you? What if the truth is this? Your fluency begins the moment you stop waiting for someone else to teach you. Right now, wherever you are, on a bus, on your bed, walking to work, sitting in a small room in a crowded city, you already have everything you need to become a confident English speaker. And the first lesson is simple. Your voice is the teacher, your mind is the classroom, your daily life is the textbook. Think about it. Every day you talk to yourself, you think, you question things, you explain things in your head, you argue with yourself, you plan your day, you imagine conversations. What if you simply moved all of that into English? That tiny shift, one that costs zero money, zero apps, and zero teachers, is the shift that separates lifelong learners from lifelong beginners. Because here is the secret. Fluency is not an app. Fluency is not a classroom. Fluency is a habit. And habits begin alone. Let me ask you something powerful. When was the last time you spoke English without pressure? Not in an exam, not with a teacher watching, not in front of classmates waiting for you to make a mistake. Just you, your voice, your thoughts. Most learners feel judged, not by other people, but by their own brain. The mind says, your grammar is wrong. Your accent is not good. You sound embarrassing. You will make mistakes. But here's the shock. Those fears disappear the moment you practice alone. No audience, no corrections, no fear of being laughed at. Just pure private fluency training. The kind that develops real confidence. Because English is not something you memorize. It's something you use. And the easiest place to start using it is inside your own life. Imagine tomorrow morning you wake up, you stretch, you look in the mirror. Instead of thinking, "Ugh, I look tired," you say out loud in English, "Okay, today I need to finish that project. I'm a little tired, but I'll push through. Let me make some coffee." That is fluency practice. You walk to the market, everything you see becomes English. This shop is closed today. Why is the bus late again? I should buy eggs. Maybe I'll cook something new. This is not childish. This is not strange. This is exactly how children become fluent in their first language. By narrating the world around them without fear, without rules, without self-judgment. And you can do this right now, anywhere, anytime. Zero teachers, zero apps, unlimited practice. Here's the truth. Nobody tells English learners you do not become fluent by studying English. You become fluent by living in English. Teachers can help, apps can support you, courses can guide you, but none of them can replace the hours of private practice your brain needs. Think of musicians. They take lessons, sure, but true skill comes when they're alone with their instrument, repeating, experimenting, playing. Think of athletes. They have coaches, yes, but their greatness comes from the hours no one sees. The same is true for English. Your self-practice is the engine. Teachers and apps are just tools. And that engine can start today. Let me give you a sentence that will stay with you. If you cannot speak English when you're alone, You will not speak English when people are watching. That's the heart of self practice. When you practice alone, your brain becomes comfortable forming sentences, your tongue becomes flexible, your accent becomes clearer, your confidence becomes natural, and slowly, speaking English stops feeling like a performance and starts feeling like breathing. And here's the best part, your environment does not matter. You don't need to live in the USA or UK. You don't need English speaking friends. You don't need expensive classes. You just need one decision. I will practice English in my daily life, even if no one is listening. Because the moment you make that decision, you stop depending on resources and start depending on discipline. You stop waiting for the perfect teacher and become your own. You stop searching for the perfect method and start using the simplest one. Speak, think, narrate, describe, explain, react, all in English. This is the beginning of unstoppable fluency. Segment 2. The one-person English environment, how to turn your daily life into a fluency machine. Most learners think an English environment means London, New York, or Sydney. They imagine airplanes, expensive courses, native speaker friends, and living abroad. But here is the reality. Your English environment is not a place, it's a system you create. And the most powerful system you will ever build is something I call the one-person English environment. This environment is simple, affordable, practical, and available to you right now, even if you live in a small room in a non-English speaking country with no access to teachers. Because fluency doesn't depend on your surroundings, it depends on your behavior. Let's build the system. Step 1. Turn your inner voice into English. This is the foundation, your inner voice. The voice you think in, the voice that narrates your day, the voice that argues with you, is your most powerful, most loyal, most available teacher, and it costs nothing. When you shift your inner voice from your native language to English, your brain is forced to create sentences, connect ideas, and simulate conversations every minute of the day. Think about how powerful that is. You're practicing even when you're silent. You're training even when you're alone. You're building fluency even when life is busy. Every time you think, I'm hungry, I should go now. Where did I put my phone? I need to finish this task. You turn those thoughts into English. That tiny habit, done over and over, creates a fluency reflex, a reflex so strong that when someone speaks to you in English, your brain doesn't freeze, it responds automatically. Because you have already been practicing the response all day long. Step 2. Narrate reality or speak what you see. This is where learners transform. You don't need a conversation partner. You don't need a class. You don't need perfect grammar. You just describe what is happening around you. Open your window and say, the street is quiet today. I think it will rain. People are walking fast. Maybe they're late. Look at your desk and say, this table is messy. I should clean it. My notebook is almost full. I need a new pen. Narration builds fluency because your brain learns to describe, explain, observe, react in real time, just like native speakers do. And here's the magic. Narration forces your brain to use English for real life, not textbook life. Textbooks teach you useless phrases like, "Hello, sir, how much is the red umbrella?" But narration teaches you the English you actually use, and it transforms your fluency faster than any grammar book ever will. Step 3. Make micro conversations with yourself. This is not craziness, this is training. Imagine you are two people, one asking a question, one answering it. You say, "Why am I feeling tired today?" "I slept late last night." "What should I cook?" "Maybe pasta, that's quick." "What do I need to buy?" "Milk, bread, and maybe some fruit." These micro conversations build sentence flow, natural speaking rhythm, thinking speed, confidence. They also remove the number one barrier to fluency, fear of speaking. Because when you speak to yourself every day, your brain stops seeing English as a performance and starts seeing it as normal communication. Step 4. The 60-second story method. Once a day, just once, you tell a tiny story in English. Not a perfect story, not a rehearsed story, a simple, natural story about your day. For example, "Today I woke up late. I rushed to get ready. I missed the bus. I felt annoyed, but I bought a coffee and tried to relax. Later things got better." That's it, 1 minute. This trains storytelling, past tense, emotional vocabulary, sentence linking, clarity of thought. You don't need a teacher to correct you. Your brain learns from usage. The more stories you tell, the easier they become. And one day you'll realize you're not scared of speaking anymore. You're excited to express yourself. Step 5. Environmental English triggers. This is where your environment becomes your teacher. You attach English to objects around you. When you see your toothbrush, you say, "Brush my teeth." When you see your shoes, you say, "Put on my shoes." When you lock your door, you say, "Okay, let's go." These micro triggers create instant fluency moments because every object becomes a reminder to practice English. Your brain gets used to responding in English without thinking. That is fluency. Step 6. English zones in your day. Choose specific moments when English becomes mandatory. Brushing your teeth, walking to work, waiting for the bus, cooking, cleaning your room, shower time, bedtime reflection. For 2 to 5 minutes, you switch your mind entirely to English. It's a small investment with massive results. 5 minutes every day is 150 minutes a month. That's 2.5 hours of speaking practice. Without a teacher, without an app, without stress. Now imagine doing it for 6 months or a year. Your life becomes your language school. Step 7. Stop waiting for motivation. Build discipline. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is transformational. You don't need inspiration every day. You don't need to feel ready. You need one rule. Practice English a little every day. No excuses. Not perfect practice. Not long practice. Not pressure-filled practice. Just daily, consistent, simple practice. Because consistency is the most powerful teacher in the world. And once you build this one-person English environment, something incredible happens. You stop saying, "I don't have someone to practice with," and start saying, "I know, I can practice anytime I want." You stop feeling dependent and start feeling powerful. You stop waiting for fluency and start creating it. Segment 3. The Daily English Workout, a 15-minute routine that guarantees fluency growth. If you ask English learners why they're not improving, most will say, I'm busy. I don't have time. I'll practice later. I'll start next week. But here's the truth. You don't need hours. You just need structure. And this structure can be so simple, so practical, that you can finish it in 15 minutes, even on the busiest days. Just like athletes have daily warm-ups and musicians repeat daily drills, fluency grows through small daily English workouts. This routine doesn't require a teacher, it doesn't require an app, it doesn't even require a notebook. Just your voice, your mind, your imagination, your willingness to show up for yourself. Let's begin. The 15-minute fluency workout. It has 5 parts. Each part trains a different fluency muscle: thinking speed, sentence flow, vocabulary, pronunciation, storytelling, and clarity. By the end, you'll feel a clear shift, like your English wakes up for the day. This is how you train your brain to speak automatically. Part 1, English Warm-Up. See 2 minutes. Goal: activate speaking muscles. Remove fear of starting. This is simple. You speak continuously for 2 minutes without stopping about anything: what you ate yesterday, your goals for today, why your neighbor is annoying, anything. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't worry about grammar. Just talk. Your only rule is do not stop, not even for a second. Why? Because silence is the enemy of fluency. The more you speak through hesitation, the faster your brain learns to react in English. This is exactly how athletes warm up their body. You're warming up your voice. Part 2, Rapid Fire Thoughts. 3 minutes. Goal: increase thinking speed in English. You say every thought that appears in your mind as fast as possible without organizing anything. For example, I'm thirsty, I need water. My phone is at 20%. I need to reply to a message. This room is cold. My chair is uncomfortable. I wish I slept more. It doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't have to be correct. This exercise teaches your brain to express ideas instantly without translating, and that is exactly what fluent speakers do. Your brain becomes faster, your sentences become smoother, your hesitation becomes weaker, you're building a reflex, a very powerful one. Part 3, describe one object in detail, 3 minutes. Goal: improve vocabulary, clarity, and sentence variety. Pick any object around you: your phone, a bottle, a window, your shoes, a cup, and describe it for 3 minutes straight. Talk about color, shape, material, purpose, history, where you got it, how you use it, what you like or dislike about it. You may think, but this is too simple? Exactly. Because this is the fluency superpower nobody uses. The more you describe small things, the easier it becomes to describe big ideas. If you can describe a cup for 3 minutes, you can describe your dreams for 10. You can explain your problems clearly. You can speak in job interviews with confidence. This is training for the real world. Part 4, 60-second story. DE 1 minute. Goal: train storytelling. Pulse past tense plus emotional expression. Tell a quick story from your day or your memory. Doesn't matter if it's small. Yesterday I missed the bus and I ran for 10 minutes. I was sweating. People looked at me like I was crazy, but I caught the bus at the last second. Or more emotional. I had a tough day last week. I felt stressed, but a friend called me unexpectedly. That small moment changed everything. 1 minute, that's all. This trains real world English, telling stories, sharing experiences, and connecting with emotions. Part 5, Silent English Thinking, 6 minutes. Goal: build internal fluency that works even when you don't speak. This part is quiet. You don't talk. You think in English. You imagine yourself speaking. You imagine yourself ordering food. You imagine yourself in a job interview. You imagine yourself telling someone your story. This is not fantasy. This is fluency training for the subconscious mind, because you speak the way you think. If your thoughts are slow, your speech will be slow. If your thoughts are English, your fluency becomes automatic. You will notice something amazing after a few days. Your brain will start producing English without effort. You will suddenly think in English without trying. You will automatically form sentences faster. You will feel your confidence rising. This is the result of silent practice, the most underrated skill in language learning. Why this routine works? Because it targets all the hidden problems English learners face: thinking too slowly, translating mentally, being afraid to start speaking, forgetting vocabulary, speaking in short, broken sentences, freezing during conversations, lacking confidence. And the solution is not more grammar books, not more YouTube videos, not more apps. The solution is building a system that forces your brain to use English daily. This routine creates that system. 15 minutes a day, no excuses, no pressure, no teachers, just pure, real, effective fluency training. And here's the best part. If you do this every day for 30 days, your English will not feel like studying anymore. It will feel natural. Your brain will adapt. Your mouth will adapt. Your confidence will transform. And people will notice. In segment 4, we go even deeper: how to practice pronunciation, accent, and speaking. Clarity. Without any teacher correcting you, you'll learn how to sound clearer, smoother, and more confident using only your phone, your ears, and your own voice. Segment 4. How to improve pronunciation and accent. Without a teacher, the self-correction system. There is a belief many English learners carry like a heavy weight: I can't fix my pronunciation without a teacher. My accent is bad because no native speaker corrects me. But the truth is far more empowering. You can improve your pronunciation even faster without a teacher if you know how to train yourself. Because pronunciation is not about rules, not about IPA symbols, not about perfect American or British accents. Pronunciation is about sound awareness, sound imitation, mouth movement, rhythm, stress, repetition. And these things don't require a classroom. They require attention. Today, you will learn a self-correction system that many successful polyglots use, people who speak 4, 6, even 10 languages. And they rarely had teachers. Let's break down the system. Part 1. Shadowing, the most powerful method ever created. If there is one method that can change your accent more than anything else, not books, not exercises, not teachers, it is this: shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to a short audio and immediately copy it in real time, like an echo, word for word, emotion for emotion, speed for speed. You don't wait, you don't pause, you copy instantly. Pick anything: a movie line, a podcast, a YouTube clip, a motivational speech, a news report. Choose 10-20 seconds, not long. Repeat it 10 times. This builds rhythm, stress patterns, pronunciation flow, natural melody, native like pauses. Shadowing is the secret behind the speaking fluency of thousands of self taught learners, because it forces your mouth to move in English patterns, not your native language patterns. After a week of shadowing, you will sound noticeably clearer. After a month, you will sound like a different speaker. Part 2: The Record and Compare. Method: your personal accent. Coach: you don't need a teacher to correct you, you can correct yourself. Here's how. Pick a short clip of natural English, 10-20 seconds. Listen carefully. Record yourself saying the exact same lines. Compare the two recordings. Listen for: are your vowels similar? Are your consonants sharp enough? Are you stressing the right words? Is your rhythm slow or unnatural? Where do you sound unclear? This process builds sound awareness, the skill you need to fix mistakes. Most learners don't improve because they don't hear their mistakes. But when you listen to yourself compared to a native speaker, your brain instantly notices the difference. That awareness is the beginning of real improvement. Part 3: The Mouth Muscle Exercise, 2 minutes daily. Accent is physical. Your mouth, tongue, and lips must learn new movements. Just like athletes train their body, you train your mouth. Do this simple routine daily. Exercise A: slow motion. Speaking: pick a sentence and say it extremely slowly. Stretch every sound. I go in to fin ish. This day, this teaches accuracy. Exercise B: fast motion. Speaking: now say the same sentence super fast, faster than natural. This trains speed and flexibility. Exercise C: exaggerated mouth movement. Make every sound bigger and wider than normal. This trains clarity. These 3 micro exercises strengthen the muscles required for smooth English speaking. Do this every day for 2 minutes. Your pronunciation becomes sharper and more controlled. Part 4: Rhythm before grammar. People care too much about grammar and ignore something more important. Rhythm: crunchy, understandable English. Broken rhythm: sound confusing English. Native English has a musical pattern. Important words are stressed. Unimportant words shrink. For example, I want to go to the store. Stress: want, go, store weak. To endorse to, the practice. This: pick a sentence, highlight the 3 most important words, stress only those words, reduce everything else. This is how native speakers talk. This is how English becomes smooth and confident, and you don't need a teacher to practice it, just your voice. Part 5: Pindaris the mirror. Speaking technique. Stand in front of a mirror, speak for 1 minute. Watch your jaw, your lips, your tongue movement, your posture, your facial tension. If you look nervous, your voice becomes tight. If you speak with confidence physically, your pronunciation becomes stronger. Mirror speaking builds confidence, clarity, physical awareness, speech control. It also forces you to maintain eye contact. a huge skill for real conversations. The accent. Identity rule. English is global. Different accents exist. Indian English, African English, Southeast Asian English, Arab English, Bangladeshi English, American English, British English, Australian English. There is no perfect accent, only clear accent. So choose one. Do you want to sound neutral, American, British, a mix? Then train toward that direction. But here's the key. Do not try to delete your natural accent. Try to make your English clear. Clarity is the goal. Confidence is the goal. Communication is the goal. You can speak with your own identity while improving your pronunciation. Part 7. The weekly feedback loop. Fix your mistakes alone. Once a week, do this. Record a 1-minute English talk. Listen to it after 24 hours. Note the problems. Unclear words, mispronunciation, flat rhythm, low confidence. Practice only those problems for the next week. This loop ensures continuous improvement, targeted correction, visible progress, no guesswork. This is what smart learners do. They don't wait for teachers to tell them problems. They detect, correct, and progress alone. The final truth of pronunciation. Your accent is not permanent. Your pronunciation is not fixed. Your clarity is not impossible. You simply need the right techniques, the right awareness, and the right discipline. And now you have all three. With daily shadowing, weekly recording, mouth training, mirror speaking, and rhythm awareness, you can build a clear, confident English voice without spending a single dollar on a teacher. This is your power. In segment 5, we will build something even more practical. How to practice English speaking in real life, even if you have nobody to talk to. This will teach you how to simulate conversations, prepare for real situations, and build unstoppable confidence. Segment 5. Real-life speaking practice when you have no one to talk to. Most English learners believe improvement only happens during conversations with other people. But here is the truth. Real-life English does not begin with other people. It begins with you. Before you speak to the world, you must learn to speak to yourself. Before you practice with others, you must train your confidence privately. Before English becomes social, it must become personal. And today you will learn exactly how to practice real-life speaking. Ordering food, talking to strangers, job interviews, daily conversations. Even if you have nobody to practice with. This is the system the world's best self-taught speakers use. Let's begin. Part 1. The Conversation Simulation Method. Practice real dialogues alone. Most learners freeze in real conversations because they never practice the situation before the situation. So here's the method. Pick a real-life situation, for example, ordering coffee, asking for directions, booking an appointment, greeting co-workers, small talk with strangers, job interview questions, explaining a problem. Now do this. Step A. Play both roles. You say the customer's line, "I'd like a medium latte, please." Then you say the barista's line, "Sure, anything else?" Then you respond again, "No, that's all, thank you." You literally act out the entire conversation. You become both people. It may feel strange at first, But this is how actors train. This is how public speakers train. This is how confident communicators train. And guess what? Your brain can't tell the difference between a simulated conversation and a real one. The neural pathways are the same. So when the real situation happens, your brain already knows what to do. You don't panic, you don't freeze, you respond naturally. Part 2. The real world rehearsal. Technique. Train before you need it. Think of a situation coming in your life soon. A meeting, a phone call, a presentation, a discussion, a complaint, a request. Now rehearse it like a performer. Ask yourself, what questions might they ask me? What might I need to explain? What story might I tell? What details should I include? Then practice the entire situation out loud. This is not fantasy. This is preparation. A musician does not walk on stage without rehearsal. A boxer does not enter the ring without sparring. A pilot does not fly without simulation. So why should you wait until the real moment to practice? Real-life fluency is built in advance. Part 3. The daily life English method. Speak English during real activities. You don't need imaginary situations all the time. Use your real day. As you cook, okay, I'm cutting the vegetables now. I need salt. Where's the pepper? As you clean, this room is messier than I thought. I should organize my desk. As you travel, this bus is late again. I hope I reach on time. As you shop, I need something quick, maybe bread and eggs. This is real English, not textbook English, not exam English, not memorized English. The English you use in your actual life becomes permanent, because fluency grows faster when the language is connected to actions, not theory. Part 4. The 3 questions conversation starter. Prepare simple structures you can use anywhere. Most learners avoid conversations because they don't know how to start. So here's a trick. Memorize 3 universal questions that work in any country, any situation, with any person. For example, how's your day going? What do you usually do? How long have you been here? These questions are safe, natural, and easy. Now practice answering them yourself. How's your day going? Pretty good. I've been busy, but it's been productive. What do you usually do? I work in IT. Lately, I've been focusing on a new project. How long have you been here? Just a few minutes. I came early today. Why practice both sides? Because conversations follow patterns. When your brain knows the patterns, you never feel lost. Part 5. The emotional reaction practice. Train the part of conversations people forget. Real conversations are not only information, they also include emotion. Practice reacting naturally. Oh, really? That's interesting. Seriously? No way. I understand. That must be difficult. That sounds exciting. I'm happy for you. These phrases create connection, the heart of real communication. When you practice emotional reactions, you make conversations smoother and more human. Part 6. The talking to objects. Trick? Yes, it works. Here's why. This sounds funny, but it is incredibly effective. Pick an object in your room, a chair, a bag, a book, your laptop, and talk to it as if it were a person. What's wrong with you today, laptop? Why are you so slow? Hey, bag, we've been together for 3 years. You're getting old. This technique removes pressure completely. There is zero fear of judgment, zero anxiety, zero embarrassment. This freedom activates spontaneous English. The more spontaneous your English becomes, the more fluent you become. Part 7. The 1 minute debrief. Build long term confidence. At the end of the day, take 1 minute and speak about your day. What went well? What was difficult? What did I learn? What surprised me? This builds reflection, emotional fluency, past tense accuracy, speaking confidence, and slowly you develop the ability to express your thoughts easily, even deeper ones. This is what advanced speakers do every day. The biggest misunderstanding about speaking. People think fluency comes from talking to others, but fluency actually comes from thinking clearly, rehearsing situations, practicing regularly, building emotional confidence, training your brain for real life. By the time you speak to another human, most of the work should already be done alone. That is why self-practice is so powerful. And the best part, you can do all of this at home, regardless of your country, environment, or access to native speakers. Real-life speaking ability is not something you wait for. It's something you build. In segment 6, we go deeper into listening and comprehension. How to train your ears to understand English. Without subtitles, without teachers, without confusion. This is the missing skill that makes speaking easier, faster, and more natural. Segment 6. How to train your ears to understand English without subtitles, teachers, or confusion. If speaking is the visible skill of English, then listening is the hidden engine that powers everything. Learners often say, I understand written English but not spoken English. I freeze when native speakers talk fast. I can't catch words in movies. Everything sounds too quick, too blended. But here is the truth. You don't need a teacher to fix this. You don't need classes. You don't need someone to slow down for you. You just need a system. A system that trains your ears the same way athletes train their reflexes. Most listening problems come from one thing. Your brain is not familiar with English sounds, rhythm, and speed, not vocabulary, not grammar, not intelligence, just sound training. Today, you will learn a method that transforms your ears in a few weeks, even if you've struggled for years. Let's begin. Part 1. The 3 levels of listening. To fix your listening, you must understand what listening actually is. There are 3 levels. Level 1, hearing sound. This is when everything sounds like a noise. Words blend together, sentences feel too fast. Level 2, recognizing patterns. You don't understand every word, but you catch key phrases and rhythms. Example, I'm gonna, maybe later, I don't think. You catch the shape of the language. Level 3, understanding. Meaning. You understand the idea even if you miss words. This is real fluency. Most learners jump directly to level 3 and fail. Your job is to train your ears to progress naturally through these levels. You'll do that using methods that require no teacher. Part 2. The micro-listening method. The 10-second strategy. Stop listening to long videos. Stop listening to full movies. Stop forcing yourself to understand everything. Instead, choose 10 seconds. Yes, only 10 seconds. Play it, repeat it again, repeat it 20 times. You are not trying to understand the meaning at first. You're training your brain to recognize rhythm, stress, speed, connected speech, sound blending. Why does this method work? Because your ears do not improve by listening to a lot. They improve by listening to a little very deeply. Professional musicians do this, actors do this, polyglots do this. Repeat the same small clip until your brain adjusts, and you will notice something surprising. Words that were impossible at first become obvious because your ears become trained. Part 3. The sound before meaning rule. Most learners make this mistake. They try to understand the meaning first before recognizing the sound, but real fluency works the opposite way. First, your brain recognizes sounds, then it attaches meaning. Think about babies. They listen for months. They understand nothing, but their ears become familiar with the rhythm of the language. Only later do they attach meaning. Your brain must do the same. So when listening, don't panic if you don't understand. Just focus on hearing the shape of the sentence, the melody, the speed, the rise and fall, the stress points. Meaning will come later, naturally. Part 4. The connected speech decoder. One big problem learners face. Native speakers don't speak word by word like textbooks. They connect everything. I'm gonna. Did you eat? Did you eat? Want to go? Wanna go? Give me that. Give me that. If you don't know these patterns, you think they speak too fast. But they're not speaking fast, they're speaking connected. To train this, do this exercise. Take a sentence, listen, write how it sounds, not how it should be, how it actually sounds. For example, I don't know what you mean sounds like, I don't know what you mean. Your goal is not to be perfect, it's to teach your ears how English melts together in real life. Do this 3 minutes a day. Your comprehension will skyrocket. Part 5. The shadow listening technique. This is different from shadow speaking. Shadow listening means play a clip, repeat the sound in your mind without speaking. You shadow with your brain, not your voice. This forces your ears to focus intensely. Try 30 seconds a day. Your brain becomes quicker at catching patterns. Part 6. The subtitle removal formula. Most people depend on subtitles like a crutch, but here is the easy formula to escape. Stage 1. Start with subtitles in your language only to understand the story. Stage 2. Switch to English subtitles. Now your brain connects sound to written words. Stage 3. Rewatch without subtitles. Only after your ears know what to expect. This step-by-step system makes listening natural, not overwhelming. Never jump to stage 3 directly. You will feel lost. Train gradually. Part 7. The 2-speed listening exercise. Choose a video. First, play at 0.8x speed. You will hear pronunciation more clearly. Then, play again at normal speed. Your brain will adjust extremely fast. This method trains your ears the way athletes train reflexes. Slow motion first, full speed second. Part 8. The 5 Sounds Checklist. Every English learner struggles with different sounds. Watch for these. T, I think find this. R, American. R, British. V versus B, then L versus R. Short I versus long E. Ending sounds. T, D, P, K. When listening, pay attention to where these sounds appear, not to copy them perfectly, but to recognize them. Recognition makes understanding easier. Understanding makes speaking easier. It all connects. Part 9. The daily listening dose. You don't need hours of listening. You need consistency. Do 10 minutes a day. Short podcasts, movie lines, interviews, motivational speeches, news clips, YouTube shorts. But remember, short is more powerful than long. 10 minutes of focused listening is better than 2 hours of passive listening. The truth about listening fluency. Your ears are not bad. Your brain is not slow. You're not weak at listening. You simply haven't trained your ears the right way. But now you have a full system that requires your no teacher, no money, no course, no subtitles, no pressure, just daily sound training. And when your ears change, your speaking changes, your confidence changes, your fluency becomes unstoppable. You begin to understand English the way native speakers do, instinctively. In segment 7, we bring everything together for the final transformation. The Self-Taught Fluency Blueprint. How to become truly fluent without apps, courses, or teachers. This final segment will be the emotional, motivational, powerful conclusion. Your blueprint for the rest of your life. Segment 7. The Self-Taught Fluency Blueprint. How to become truly fluent without apps, courses, or teachers. You've reached the final segment, but this is not the end of your journey. This is the moment everything begins. Because now you understand the truth about English fluency. You are not waiting for someone to teach you, you are building yourself. No teacher, no perfect environment, no expensive course. Just you, your discipline, your daily habits, your inner voice, your self-belief. Today, we combine everything into one powerful blueprint. A blueprint that can turn any motivated learner from any country at any age with any background into a fluent, confident English speaker without traditional systems. Let's begin. Part 1. The mindset shift that separates learners from speakers. Fluency doesn't start with grammar. It doesn't start with vocabulary. It doesn't start with teachers. It starts with identity. You must stop saying, "I'm learning English," and start saying, "I live in English." This shift changes everything. People who learn English wait for the right time, the right motivation, the right teacher. People who live in English use the language every day, even when tired, even when busy, even when alone. Identity drives action. Action builds fluency. When you wake up each day with the identity of an English speaker, your progress becomes unstoppable. Part 2. The 5 daily non-negotiables. A simple blueprint you can follow forever. Your fluency requires only 5 daily habits. 1. Think in English, 2 to 5 minutes at a time. Your inner voice becomes English. Your brain becomes fluent in silence. 2. Narrate your surroundings. This room is cold. I need to clean my desk. Why is the bus late again? The world becomes your textbook. 3. Speak out loud at least once a day. Warm up speaking, rapid fire thoughts, describe objects, tell mini stories. This builds confidence faster than teachers ever could. 4. Listen to a short piece of real English, noun, then 10-20 seconds. Repeat. Shadow. Decode connected speech. Your ears begin to understand English naturally. 5. 1-minute reflection before sleeping. Talk about your day, your feelings, your accomplishments, your challenges. This develops emotional fluency, the highest level of language mastery. These 5 habits only take 15 to 20 minutes a day, but they build the foundation of a fluent speaker. Part 3. The 30-day transformation cycle. If you follow the blueprint for 30 days, your pronunciation becomes clearer, your listening becomes sharper, your speaking becomes smoother, your thinking becomes faster, your fear becomes weaker, your confidence becomes stronger. Most people fail because they expect results in one day. But fluency is not an event, it is a process. A 30-day cycle is long enough to build momentum and short enough to feel achievable. Complete one cycle, then repeat and repeat again. Within 3 cycles, 90 days, you will not recognize your old self. Part 4. The self-conversation. Mastery path. Here's the biggest secret of self-taught fluency. If you can speak beautifully to yourself, you can speak beautifully to anyone. When you practice alone, you remove pressure, you remove judgment, you remove fear, you remove performance anxiety. In this safe environment, your mind grows, your voice grows, your clarity grows. Real conversations become easy because you have already practiced the structure, the rhythm, the emotions, the responses. Your self-practice becomes real-life practice. This is how confident speakers are built. Part 5. No teachers, no problem. You become your own coach. All great learners have one thing in common. They don't wait for someone else to correct them. They train themselves. How? Record your voice once a week. You become your own evaluator. Shadow native speakers daily. You become your own accent trainer. Practice listening deeply. You become your own comprehension teacher. Identify your patterns. You become your own strategist. This independence is the real advantage because no teacher can follow you everywhere, but you can. Part 6. The emotional side of fluency. People think English is about memory, about grammar, about rules. But fluency is emotional. Your struggles didn't come from lack of knowledge. They came from fear of judgment, fear of mistakes, fear of embarrassment, fear of sounding wrong, fear of speaking in front of others. Your fluency grows when your courage grows. Today you understand. You do not need to be perfect to be fluent. You need to be expressive. You need to be confident. You need to be consistent. Nobody becomes fluent with fear. Fluency comes from freedom, and self-practice gives you that freedom. Part 7. The final truth about becoming fluent without teachers. Let me tell you the truth. Nobody tells learners. Native speakers became fluent without apps, without teachers, without textbooks, without grammar rules. They simply lived in the language. And now you are doing the same. Fluency is not a classroom skill. Fluency is a life skill. You can build it anywhere. your room, your kitchen, your workplace, your commute, your quiet moments, your busy moments. You don't need London or New York. You don't need expensive courses. You don't need perfect resources. You need one thing: daily contact with English in your mind, in your voice, in your environment, in your routine. That's it. And if you continue this path, the day will come when someone says to you, "Wow, your English is so natural. How did you learn?" And you will smile because they will never believe the truth. You learned it alone. You built it yourself. You earned your fluency without apps, without teachers, without permission, just discipline, just consistency, just you. The end. But only the beginning of your real life fluency.